Hello, boxing fans around the world. Thank you very much for joining us tonight again on Talk and Fight for another episode of The Scoop featuring the champ, Bola Ray. And I'm sure you've got another exciting story that should be a movie for us this evening. What do you got for us, Ray?
Actually, you know what? Genuinely, this whole week should be a movie series. Um, the more I read about this era of boxing, the more incensed I become at the utter injustice and the whole scenario. Not just the afflicted athletes, but boxing history as a whole. Um, the amount of what ifs and who would have won debates are nothing shy of endless. And there's no true solution that will ever be produced. It's lost in history. The legendary trainer, Eddie Futch, once said when he too was a fighter, actually he was a stablemate of this athlete I'm speaking of, he would rather watch this guy shadow box than actually watch other fighters fight. This fighter was described as pure poetry in the 40s and 50s. Sorry, 30s and 40s. Okay? Um, and yet, because of his membership to the Black Murderers Row, he in history never saw him in a world title fight. My name is Bola Raymond Olubuwale, and this is The Scoop. Born January 30th, 1915, in Pensacola, Florida, was one Holman Williams. Not much can be found on his early years other than he began boxing in 1928 and had a successful 38-fight career. Now, what that record was is also lost in time, but he fought as a bantamweight in those years. For those who don't know, bantamweight, 118 pounds. But then in 1932, at the ripe old age of 17, he turned pro. And he entered the professional ranks at featherweight. Okay. Again, for those who don't know, featherweight, I believe is 130. Yeah. He also moved up the ranks during his professional career to welter and then even middle. Yeah. Little was written about the man, but somehow he made his way to Detroit and was boxing at some gym there and that's where he met and trained with his stablemates, the likes of future legendary trainer Eddie Futch and future legendary world heavyweight champion Joe Louis. Holman, this is when Eddie Futch actually said he'd much prefer to watch Holman shadowbox than actually watch others fight. Now, Holman was renowned for his elusive defensive boxing, in which his timing and swiftness of foot made him arguably the greatest boxer of all time. And this is all lost, or pretty much lost, all because of a racist past in boxing, which would not permit selective black fighters to actually get an opportunity to a world title fight. The legendary Joe Louis. Joe Louis, arguably the greatest heavyweight of all time, at least in the conversation, at least in the top 5 in most people's opinion, looked at him as an inspiration, just to let you know exactly the magnitude of this guy. And yet, there's very little footage of him or history of him anywhere to be found. Now, during his career of 187 fights, yeah, a number that just seems so ridiculous, or even by way of a typo, just doesn't make any sense by today's standards. Holman earned himself a number of straps for that. Now, in his 30th fight, Holman Williams, 27 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw, goes up against Baby Tiger Flower, his actual ring name, and wins by 8th round TKO for the Negro lightweight title. Joe Louis actually presented the belt to Williams in this fight. Now, I genuinely don't know if history would have forgiven him if he had lost to a grown man called Baby Tiger Flowers. I'm pretty sure I wouldn't forgive myself, but that's just me. Now, fight number 35 of his on March 13th, 1936, began the legacy of the Black Murderers Row, the first fight of the legendary unofficial tournament of the most feared and avoided black fighters of the era. Now, 21-year-old Holman Williams, with a record of 32 wins, 2 losses, and 1 draw, ended up losing a majority decision to his fellow 21-year-old Hubert Lewis, you know, the Coca Kid, Hardwick, my yesterday's show. Just to show the nature and the playing field that they had in those days. The next month, fight number 36, was again between these two foes, of which the title switched hands. No, sorry, it did switch hands. Hardwick beat him again, but this time a little more decisively. Williams would dance with him, Hardwick, again, at which point in time they fought actually 11 more times. How did they not get bored of each other? I don't know, but they fought 13 times in total, where Hardwick won 8 times, Williams won 3, with 2 draws. Williams even danced with the legendary Archie Moore. Now, who, until he was actually fortunate enough to actually fight for the world title, was actually seen as one of the members of this unfortunate fraternity, the Black Murderers Row. Moore came in at a heavy 172.5 pounds and lost 2 rounds to Holman for low blows. Now, Holman, much smaller at 163. This cost him the decision in the 10-round contest. Moore was the aggressor throughout, and sports writer at ringside differed with the official decision and gave Moore a slight edge in going his way. But heavier and stronger than his opponent. Moore had the fight all on his way at first and piled up the points, but kept boring in with Williams. Williams got in the fifth and offset Moore's rushing and sharp and fast punches. Moore was dealt an actual loss due to 7th and 8th round low blow counts. Sorry for your luck. The World Colored Middleweight Championship title was actually revived because the scenario back in the day would have it that there was just a lack of interest. And even though, yeah, these guys were world champions, right? They were paid much. There was very little organization in the structure of the league, of the belt, the whole 9 yards. So it was just a watered down version, but at least it was something that black fighters could actually go and fight towards. Now, it was revived in the 1940s, and he fought Charlie Burrow. Remember that name? Charlie, who had been the colored welterweight champ, fought Williams for the title on the 14th of August, 1942. Burrow won the fight with a 9th round TKO. This was the first time Williams was ever stopped in his career. Williams won the title in a decision in their rematch, the 16th of October, the same year. Then lost the title January 15th, the following year, to the Coco Kid in a 12th round decision. Williams fought Burrow 7 times, where he won 3 of them, he lost 3 of them, and there was one that was called a no contest due to the fact that the referee felt that there wasn't enough activity in the 10th and final round and stopped the action. After his retirement, he helped develop young fighters in Akron, Ohio, assisting Lee Thornton. When Thornton opened up Club Wonder, William helped out as a weekend maintenance man. And, one weekend, he was asleep in the club and he was killed when a fire engulfed the whole club.
Wow.
And him. Holman was inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame in 2008. Again, a little consolation for such an absolute treasure in history. I can't stress it enough. History can enrage some, and I think justifiably so. And especially because of scenarios like this. This guy was an absolute treasure. He was part of that crew. When I think of the great Sugar Ray Robinson, he literally could float on water. He was nothing shy of an icon, a brilliant fighter. But then when you start doing the research and finding out it was cats like this that he refused to fight, how much more poetic were they in comparison to him? You know, he refused to come out to California, even though his handlers had said, "We're going out to California to do a tour." This is one of the reasons why he didn't go out to California and retracted what his handlers had said. So because he knew that these guys were a step above. And all because of the color of their skin made it so as these absolute champions did not create enough of a nest egg in their careers. And their careers were insane. 187 fights. And still, in his late years, he didn't have enough to own a home, to have comfort. He offered so much to society and got nothing. Hence why he was sleeping in the gym or living in the gym that he was working at as a maintenance man post-career. That's nothing shy of sad and should be seen as a travesty. Yeah, like you said, nothing shy of movie-worthy. But I digress. That's my show. And with that, if you like this episode, please hit the like button and subscribe. Don't forget to smash the notification bell. It's your boy Bola, and that's the scoop.
Thanks, Ray. Before you jet off, how did they get the moniker Murderers Row? Was it given to them, or did they choose themselves because they were so powerful? And
No,
sound
so the whole Murderers Row or Black Murderers Row had nothing to do with crime. Had nothing to do with taking a life or anything like that. It was that they would kill you in the ring in the event that you fought them. Iconic, like things I just can't even begin to fathom. Think about the fight, the episode I did on Monday with Aaron Wade, where he's already finished his career. And finally, the legendary Sugar Ray Robinson allows him in as a sparring partner, not to fight him because he was signed to fight him twice and backed out. Sugar Ray Robinson, the man that I witnessed knock a man out with a 7-punch combination, all with one hand, with his left hand, and sent him flying on the 7th punch. That same Sugar Ray Robinson was deathly afraid of these guys. Okay? He got just destroyed, like busted ribs and whatnot, when he refused to pay Wade what he owed him in sparring. These guys were just a step above, and history's lost this. But yeah, that's where the whole Murderers Row came from. They would destroy you. You had very little chance. Hence why they had to end up fighting each other in their own unofficial tournament.
Wow. I had no idea.
Yeah, a few people did. So yeah,
I'm glad you're bringing them to light. These are great stories, and they deserve to be told.
That's the objective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. So we'll see you tomorrow night, same time, same channel.
Cheers.
And have yourself a good day.
Cheers.